Welcome back, ladies and gents. Yes, I am still brewing, and today I am doing a bit of an experiment. It is a take on TPW, which is a tomato paste wash, which if you've not heard of, it's very popular. Check in the description below, or maybe in the comments, and I'll pop a link, because I will be doing a TPW, tomato paste wash. And it's also based on a kind of like a homemade turbo yeast. So it's going to be a combination of the two. It's going to be slightly different. It's going to be my own design. So let's call this, it's going to be a SBTBW, Still Brewing Turbo Banana Wash. Because that's right, I'm going to be using a banana in this wash rather than a tomato paste. So basically what's going to be going into it? We are going to be using a normal yeast. This is a dried active yeast, normal thing that you would use for home cooking. I'm going to be using some multivitamin tablets, some extra vitamin B, Epsom salts, diammonium phosphate, also known as DAP, and, as it says in the title, one ripe banana. So, first question is, because I ask everybody, why are you adding that to your wash? And a lot of the responses are, I don't know. Well, this is hopefully got a bit more This is a bit more methodical in what we're doing. So let's go with what we've got here. 125 grams, so 62 grams of yeast. That's half the tub I'm going to use. Multivitamin tablets. I'm going with 3 multivitamins. Now these are A to Z multivitamins, so they've got everything in there. Vitamin A, B, C, D. They've also got lots of minerals in there as well, magnesium, calcium, zinc, so 3 of those are going in. I'm going to boost it with vitamin B as well, so extra vitamin B in this one. And that's really just going to, like I should have said, this is for the yeast. It's really going to push that yeast. Give it plenty of yummy food to scrunch on. So I'm going to put 2 of those in there. And then I'm just going to go and bash them up in my old pestle and mortar first off. Let's do that. So, about 5 tablets in total, all mashed up in there. I'm then going to add, I've got a teaspoon of Epsom salts. Oh, why am I adding Epsom salts? Because Epsom salts is basically magnesium, another healthy kick for the yeast. So let's boost up that magnesium and add a drop of that in. I'm going to go with roughly half a teaspoon for this wash. Add that into my homemade yeast nutrient. And then DAP, diammonium phosphate. Why am I adding this? Because it is full of nitrogen, and that is going to give, it's basically going to put the yeast on speed. It's really going to make that into a super fast wash. So I'm going to go with a full heaped teaspoon of DAP for this wash. And then I'm going to just half this tub, so it's about 62 grams, half a tub of yeast. Give or take. So in there are yeast, our multivitamins, diammonium phosphate, Epsom salts. We've basically created our own homemade turbo yeast. So that's ready to go in the wash. To make the wash, we're going to use, I'm going with 6 kilograms of sugar for this one, and 1 ripe banana. And literally all I'm going to do is just make that into a bit of a mush, which it pretty much already is. Might even just squeeze it. The skin is also full of potassium and other great vitamins as well. So you could use the skin, but now I'm just going to give that a chop and a mash. I'm going to mix it with some hot water as well, which I'll just get going. Just a splash of hot water, just to help break it down a bit. Right, so that's it. We've got our homemade ingredients for our SBTBW, Still Brewing's Turbo Banana Wash. I'm going to fill up the vessel. I'm using the fast ferment hot water. Add in the sugar, make sure that's fully dissolved. Add in the banana, make sure that's dissolved as best as possible. Check the SG, the starting gravity, first of all. I'm hopefully going to be aiming for about 107, 8, 9, we'll see. And then we'll go ahead and pitch the yeast. So let me go ahead. I'm going to fill this up as normal. You don't need to see it because I've shown you before. And then we'll come back with the SG reading. Alright, see you in a bit. So, one thing I forgot to mention in the ingredients list was citric acid or lemon juice. If you've seen my videos before, I add it to all of my washes, and that gets that pH down to 5.2, which is the sweet spot we're always after. So, out of experience, that's now got me 5.2, roughly. And give it a good old mix, make sure all that sugar's gone, the banana's dissolved in, the lemon juice is all mixed in, and then we'll take a starting gravity point. Alright. Okay, so we've dissolved everything. Sugar's gone in, the hot water's in. We want a starting gravity reading first, so that we know what we're looking at. We can then work out the expected ABV at the end of it. And wow, beautiful. That's actually bang on 1.090, so that's a really good start for this wash. Let's see what the temperature is. It's going to be bang on 30 degrees as well. So we've got our yeast and our yeast nutrient that we made earlier all mixed up, all broken down. I'm just going to go ahead and tip that in. And I'm going to give it one final stir just to get as much oxygen in there as we can before I get it set up on the rack. I'll give it a stir and then join me once it's on the rack. In goes the aquarium heater mod. Again, if you want to see how I did that, check out the videos. Like and subscribe to this one so you can see any future content, and look through the history, and you should find my fast ferment heating mod video on there as well. Okay, so that's everything. We've added banana, we've added 6 kilograms sugar, we've topped it up, should I say, to 26 litres of warm water, 30 degrees. We've made our own turbo yeast using diammonium phosphate, Epsom salts, multivitamins, extra vitamin B, and we've balanced the pH with some citric acid as well. So that's everything gone in. I've connected up the heater from the mod I was telling you about, and I've also connected up the bottom collection bowl on the fast ferment. And already it's starting to bubble. As soon as I've popped the lid on, we're heading away, so watch this space. this could be the next best thing. The SBTBW, Still Brewing's Turbo Banana Wash. That's going to take some learning. So, one thing I like about the fast cement is when you put on the empty collection cup at the bottom and open up the valve, you get that huge surge of oxygen going back up into the vessel. So you've done all that mixing, one last burst of oxygen in there as well. Now, before I started this project, the first thing was I was getting told about TPWs, and I was seeing everybody using multivitamins in the sugar washes, and I can't just go ahead and do something like that without understanding why people are doing it. So I looked into it a little bit, and I looked into turbo yeasts. I thought, what makes it a turbo yeast? And it's basically the nutrient that they're adding into the yeast. And if you look at what those are, straight away you've got the diammonium phosphate, which is what we've added here, and that's the nitrogen boost for the yeast. It's got amino acids in it, vitamins and minerals like calcium, magnesium, potassium. Well, that banana was full of potassium. The multivitamins that we added, full of calcium, magnesium, and all the vitamin ranges. There was zinc in there. And one of the other things was dead yeast cells, which, fair enough, I haven't added any dead yeast cells. But I think for a homemade yeast nutrient, I think that's a very good start. And why did I use a banana rather than tomato paste? Well, the truth is, I couldn't work out why people were using tomato paste. And the only thing I could find was that they had potassium in them, which was missing off the list on your multivitamin tablets in the official turbo yeast nutrient packs. So I thought, well, if that's all it's adding there for, I've got some bananas here full of potassium, also full of vitamins and everything like that, so why not use it? So that's what I've gone ahead and done. Next time I will try it with a tomato paste wash, and we'll compare the two and see what the differences are. And I'll stick with the same yeast nutrient recipe that we've done today. So, watch this space. Join me soon and we'll see how we're getting on. Some of you homebrewers might have noticed something in this video. If you have, like and subscribe, because that video is coming up, and let me tell you, there's going to be a little twist on that video as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe, catch all the future content, and it helps me make these videos to hopefully help you guys as well. Alright.